Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Splunk Vice President, IT Markets, Andi Mann.
DNA is the theme for this conference. You know, DNA is about the building blocks of life. It's about genomes breaking apart, recombining, creating new from old. Evolving from single-cell organisms to complex creatures. From crawling in the mud and ooze of the swamp to sprinting through the concrete jungle. From fighting, scrapping, to collaborating and building and working together. DNA is the basis for evolution. You know, sometimes it's slow and sometimes it's fast, but life is always evolving. IT's evolving as well. IT's breaking apart and recombining, reimagining itself, creating new capabilities from old capabilities. You're building this new DNA to become faster, better, more agile, more complex. This innovation is sometimes incremental, sometimes it's radical. So today I'd like to talk to you about digital transformation, the newest evolution of IT. I'd like to talk to you about the radical reinvention that you and Splunk are on together to meet this challenge of digital transformation with agility and with innovation. And I'd like to talk to you about how together we're going to move forward in this radically evolving ecosystem to build digital transformation into the DNA of your business. You know, yesterday Doug talked about the massive impact and the opportunity of digital transformation. You know, the way it's changing how we connect with each other, the way it's changing how we get our work done. It's changing how we deliver value to customers, internal and external, as well as to our business as a whole. You know, digital transformation is powering revolutions, both figuratively and literally. But at the same time, it's creating fragmentation. So, you know, the world used to be sort of easy, right? If I wanted to get somewhere, I'd just hail a taxi. These days, I call an Uber or maybe a Lyft, or maybe I get an instant cab or a car to go. When I want to listen to some new music, I used to just turn on the radio. Now, of course, I've got great services like Shazam or Spotify. When I wanted to go travel, I'd go to a travel agent. Now, of course, I go to these great online services like Expedia, eTravel, HomeAway, and book myself. I used to shop locally. I just go to the local mall. Now, of course, we've got Amazon, CJO, Zulily. Even if I wanted to go to a traditional store, then I'm going to go online to shop at Nordstrom or Tesco. We all used to go to Vegas to play blackjack and, to go to conf. But now, even though we're in Orlando, we can still do it with great services from people like Paddy Power, Amaya Gaming. You know, the same sort of thing is happening within IT. Digital transformation is connecting teams and activities and services. You know, new technologies like HipChat and Amazon Web Services. New movements and cultural change, things like DevOps and ChatOps. But the same way that digital transformation is fragmenting, IT is also fragmenting. You know, cloud and hybrid computing, serverless architectures, microservices and containers, they're all breaking apart these older monoliths and creating new platforms. These services are becoming increasingly distributed across servers, across providers, across teams, even across the world. And this fragmentation is putting up new walls. You know, walls between different teams, both internal and external. Walls between traditional best practices, things like ITIL, ITSM and BSM, and new approaches, things like DevOps, Agile, operational intelligence. Walls between traditional Mode 1 services and new Mode 2 services and all the hundreds of thousands of modes in between. It's up to us to recombine IT to bring that all back together. Because no one knows tech, no one sees the whole business like IT does. You know, in a world where every business is a technology business, IT is the business. We are the business. I mean, make no mistake, this is actually an existential threat to IT and especially to IT operations. It's an existential threat to you and your teams. To survive, you have to make digital transformation, you have to make digital operations an essential part of your DNA. And you can start by recombining those building blocks into a new operating model. Think about teams of teams working together on common outcomes rather than individual goals or even individual departments. Think about the end-to-end activities. Look at the whole mission, not just my part of that system, but the end-to-end system. And focus on those complete services. It's not just about one application or one piece of infrastructure. It's about the entire service that you're delivering to your customers, internal or external, even when technology is changing. These approaches, this new operating model, helps you build digital transformation into your DNA. This is why teams across the globe, teams like you, are using Splunk as part of your digital DNA. You're creating, using, and sharing a common data fabric across all of these teams and activities and services, making data accessible, valuable, and usable for everyone involved, for all the stakeholders who are delivering those valuable services to your users. And with Splunk, you can own this evolution, maybe revolution of IT. With Splunk, you connect teams and activities and services every day. It is part of your DNA every day. You do it with certainly log data, but all sorts of data, wire data, API data, agent data, business data, customer data, structured data. Data provides this fabric that recombines IT and brings everyone together. You provide visibility for all these teams, across silos, across the activities, across those services, with historical analysis, with real-time insights, with continuous feedback loops, giving you also predictive analytics, all powered by machine learning. You know, with Splunk, you do the hard work that enables innovation, that drives and underpins digital transformation. Because in this new world of digital business, you need a new operating model built on a foundation of information accessible to everyone. And teams of smart people using advanced software, teams like you using Splunk, working together to transform the business. So you don't have to take it from me though. Let's hear from some of these smart people like you who have been using Splunk to transform their business. Let's have a look at the video.
Before Splunk Enterprise, we monitored our services with a variety of different open source utilities that were kind of disconjointed and no one place to go and no one person had the answer, so it was very difficult.
We spun up Splunk and we pointed all our logs at it, and this was in our 30-day trial period. And we gave a bunch of the operational staff a chance to look at it. And then, I think this was on a Thursday or Friday, and then Monday or Tuesday, we go say, so did you get a chance to play with Splunk? And they're taking their wallets out, going, how much do you need us to contribute to this?
Security brought Splunk to the table, but operations has adopted it very, very quickly and have actually become probably the larger user of the platform at this point today.
Then we step up doing the complete application monitoring. It was some kind of a stepping up as we grow with Splunk.
We'll have Splunk dashboards up looking at it. Whenever there's an incident response, people that are responding immediately to it, they'll have Splunk dashboards, taking a look at it, being able to diagnose and fix that up. So it's absolutely a required component. Even now, as we're setting up and preparing for the cloud and deploying things in Docker and Mesos and Marathon and those types of stuff, an absolute requirement was to make sure that we have Splunk as a primary first-tier service.
So IT ops is evolving too. We're working in new ways. Can we go back a slide? IT ops is evolving too. We're working in new ways, with new activities, new teams, new services. In the real world, IT ops has always been evolving. And I hear a lot of junk about, IT ops is dead. I hear a lot of junk about no ops, how it's changing because of cloud computing, with cloud and serverless, with no ops. We don't need operations. And nothing could be further from the truth. Because IT ops has always been evolving. We've always taken on new challenges. In the real world, that's what we do. From mainframe to mid-range to distributed to cloud to mobile, from manual tasks, doing everything manually, now we're becoming automation engineers. We're changing from being sysadmins and IT ops. We're changing to be site reliability engineers. We've sort of been here before. We know how to do this. You got this. We don't do swivel chair monitoring anymore. We do holistic data-driven management. Evolution is in your DNA. And Splunk's evolving with you, with a platform for operational intelligence to fuel digital transformation. We were born out of IT ops, out of operations, using data to solve fundamental challenges. Initially we started with IT troubleshooting, application management. These were the foundation of what many of you here today have been using Splunk for years, over a decade. And then last year, we introduced IT Service Intelligence for holistic monitoring and operational intelligence for IT professionals. And we continue to evolve, starting, looking at new challenges like Agile and DevOps. So we're going to start now by looking over the past year with IT Service Intelligence. And to give us a look at the amazing awesomeness of IT Service Intelligence, where we've been over the last year and where we're going, I'd like to bring out now Jonathan Savelli, our AVP for IT Markets. JC.
I'm bringing sexy back. The mother boys don't know how to act. I think it's special what's behind your back.
Hello, everyone. So last year on this stage, yeah, I did that again. Last year on this stage, back in Vegas, I told you that we were going to bring the sexy back to service monitoring. How do you think we did? That's right, I think we even did better than that. We got over 100 customers to spice up their service delivery in just 1 year. And that's pretty fast for enterprise software. And I like to start this out in true Splunk fashion by telling you, our customers, what you already know, that you have the best and most innovative ways to use our software. And so with that, I'd like to start out with Cox Automotive and how they use ITSI in an unexpected way. Let's roll that film.
At Cox Automotive, we have over 20 different brands, companies like Autotrader.com, Kelly Blue Book, Manheim.com.
If you think about Manheim, we're in the wholesale business. So when a consumer takes a car, takes it into a dealer, and trades it in, that dealer will take it to one of our 75 wholesale locations. We'll auction that car off for our customers. So normally people are physically in lane, they're bidding on a car. So what we do is we've installed 850 cameras in 75 different locations. and we stream live all of those auctions. And that's what simulcast is. That's that video stream of that real-time auction. Every day, hundreds, sometimes thousands of cars are sold on this platform.
Splunk ITSI is bringing visibility into our simulcast application that we never had before. When you go from one lane to multiple lanes, from one auction location to many locations, how many people can actually look at all that in real time? If there's an event that happens sporadically, how do you make sense of all the noise that's now coming your way?
Utilizing ITSI, we were able to focus on specific KPIs.
Within seconds, alerts will go off telling us exactly what location of those 850 cameras, what exact lane, what exactly is wrong. We've been able to reduce by 90% the number of incidents that we've had.
Without Splunk, it would be unimaginable how we'd be able to provide as many insights as we are. We'd probably have to bring in 10 to 15 different tools, as most of the data is unstructured and presented in many different ways.
Our customers today leverage simulcast more than ever before, and for our bottom line, it's imperative that we protect it, and ITSI has made that possible.
Woo! Who would have expected that? And people tell me I talk fast, but I don't think I could do that guy's job. That was pretty impressive. So in case you missed what we did with ITSI, let me give you a quick level set. ITSI adds a layer of services and entities on top of core Splunk. And what that lets us do is add human context to your machine data. It explains to Splunk what matters in your services and your objects so that you are able to better express how what you do drives value above just the bits and bytes. And it also lets us hang a series of new capabilities that can really improve how you think about and monitor the services you deliver every day. And because it's based on core Splunk, it has the same agility that you expect from Splunk as opposed to some of the more fragile or heavy data weight integrations of other service monitoring software. And in fact, that's partly because our service models are dynamic. They're changing, they're easy to evolve and adapt like a Splunk search. And that means they're always fresh and are able to move and change with your business. Because if we're talking about nothing else at this conf, it's how IT is constantly evolving. And once we've done that, then we make it so much easier to focus on what matters. And that's what at-a-glance problem analysis lets you do. Whether it's a glass table that shows how services are impacting one another, to a deep dive that shows exactly in time-correlated ways what matters as it impacts the service, and then drilling all the way down to the raw Splunk data, are all in one continuous flow. No more swivel chair. And that lets you get to root problems faster. But you don't have to do it alone. Because back with machine learning, Skynet, I mean, your Splunk, don't worry, does the heavy lifting for you. It looks at all your masses of data and figures out what is normal and what is abnormal so that you don't have to hold in RAM every single data pattern in your complex environment. And now, with ITSI 2.4, we're taking our first foray into event analytics. So when we do find interesting things and we bubble up raw events into a notable event, we're able to help you treat those as things that you want to monitor and manage, learn from, and apply machine learning to. And when those events turn into incidents, ITSI is now integrated into your incident management workflows. So you can both take action as well as integrate with what other ITSM systems you're currently using today. Sound good? Yeah? Good. But it's a little abstract. So in order to put a little meat on this, to give you an idea of what ITSI actually feels like, I'm going to pretend that I am Nate and Deep's boss. Just because I want to pretend I'm Nate and Deep's boss, no other reason. But no, I'm going to pretend that I am the operations director for Buttercup Go, that game you saw yesterday. And so I'm going to put on my Buttercup Go hat and talk to you about what we had to do. So to bring that cool little game to market fast, we had to borrow a lot of our parent company's infrastructure. Sound familiar? Where do you think the customer transactions were? On a mainframe. Had to integrate with that. Where do you think the user portal was if people want to come buy some ponies outside of the game or learn more about the game on the company website? Guess what? Classic 3-tier web architecture. Got to integrate with that. The only thing I got to build right was the game itself. And that's a microservices, a modern architecture using containers so that we can flex in and out of our own infrastructure into public clouds as needed. But that makes everything a little bit complex. And to understand how that complexity does or does not impact my users and players in the game, I need something like ITSI. Let's play that example reel. So the first thing I need is to be able to see, at a glance, all the different ways in which infrastructure is affecting our environment. And that's exactly what Service Analyzer does. It lets me pick the specific services that impact my business and see them all in one place so that I am able to understand very quickly how the different KPIs flow through the system and may or may not be impacting my users. And the best part is that these KPIs are not just static. I mean, they could be like an SLA. I have some of those. But much more interesting is for the system to tell me what's normal. I don't know. And that's what adaptive thresholding does. Adaptive thresholds let ITSI go in and figure out what should be happening at this hour on this day of the week or this day of the month. And it does it all for me so I don't have to know. And it changes over time as the data changes and evolves. And also, it will look inside those KPIs and figure out if there's something strange. So even if the KPI looks all right, maybe there's an individual container or hypervisor that's acting weird. ITSI will find that for me and let me know. And the best part is everyone's looking at the same thing, always looking at the same KPI and the same results. But now I just don't want to look at an individual KPI. I want to see how they're connected. I want to see how maybe a user will flow through my system. And for that, I use glass tables. Glass tables are like a data-powered whiteboard. I can just go and draw what I want, maybe an infrastructure diagram to show how complex this microservice architecture is. I just drag and drop write what I want on the screen. I can add in KPIs, and when I save it, this is constantly updated. It is like a living whiteboard backed with actual data, which is awesome. But then, I don't have to just use this for my infrastructure team. I can give it to the business. What if somebody wants to know how many games and ponies and dollars and upgrades we should be making? They can see right there. But I can't look at just pretty screens all day. I mean, I could, but I would lose my job. I need to be alerted when things go wrong. And so Splunk, of course, can give me the easy stuff like a hard disk failing, but I want to know the more interesting stuff. Like, for example, when is revenue kind of dipping while error counts are kind of rising and transaction times are sneaking longer? That's how we really think about delivering things in IT. That's that human context, and that's when I need to be alerted before trouble strikes so I can go and take action. That's what's useful to me. And when those things do occur, I want to be able to track them over time. And that's what Notable Events lets me do. I can even take action from here, like I can send a nastygram, a service ticket to the other services I depend on. Or maybe I want to ping this host, see if it's still alive, or bounce this container and see if that helps reset it. And of course, I can do all the things you'd expect, like I sort them, I triage them, rate them by severity, all that stuff. But what I really want to be able to do is to see how they are acting together. I want to group these and see if there's a trend. I want to see how it's trending over time. Is this something that's new? Is it happening fast? Is it a common problem? And ITSI Event Analytics helps me understand that very quickly at a glance. And so this is a way in which I can then decide what's really important. And when I do drill in, I go to deep dive. This is like my own little personal war room. The best part is I don't make these up. They're created automatically for me. Every notable event and every service shows me exactly the KPIs I need to see and what's important. If I want to add more, it's just a click away. And I don't just have to use the KPIs that exist. I can do ad hoc searches like look at the exact code commit to see what's going on. And then I can correlate that to my chat ops to see why people start talking in the war room right after that code commit, which seems pretty suspicious to me. And so the best part about this too is that when these things start to happen, deep dives evolve and find for me the most important objects, hosts, containers, users. And how does it know that? Well, these things called modules. They've been shipping me modules all year. And what these modules do is build all the basic stuff that I don't have time to build already. It tells me what should I be monitoring for hypervisors and virtual machines. It gives me suggestions on KPIs and services and how to map my entities so that we don't have to do that stuff. That's not our job. ITSI is just figuring that stuff out for us. And there's a whole bunch of different things they've shipped, from application layer stuff to load balancers to hypervisors. It's been great, and I expect they're going to do more. So whether I'm looking at my overall infrastructure as I draw it, or maybe I want to see the entire board at a glance, or maybe I need to drill in and solve some problems and correlate things quickly to remediate outages fast, or see how I've been doing over time in terms of events and incidents, and frankly not doing any of the hard work myself because the machine's doing it for me. That's how Splunk ITSI is helping to keep those ponies flying, our users happy, and the money flowing in. So it's making my life a lot easier. See, it's fun being Nate and Deep's boss. They just do all the work. I just click around a bunch of screens. It's awesome. That's what ITSI lets me do. But don't take my word for it. That was a fun fictional example. It's fun to talk about, ponies flying. But they're real customers, really here at this real conf, who want to talk to you about their ITSI story, and they're great stories. If you didn't hear them yesterday, great news. There's a bunch today and tomorrow, and I really encourage you to go visit them. And so now I would just like to wrap up by reminding you what Doug talked about in his keynote, what we're doing this conf with the launch of IT Service Intelligence 2.4. There'll be just 3 things. There's always just 3 things. Anomaly detection has been radically improved with better machine learning. So now you're not just looking at what's anomalous for an individual KPI. We'll drill into the KPIs. We'll look at each individual object and find the one that's misbehaving or 2 that's misbehaving when they do, so that you don't have to be looking under the covers all the time. We also began adding intelligence to our event management so that we can help you sift through all the noise and see what matters and start to find patterns so you can be proactive. And finally, with ourselves and with the help of our partners, began delivering modules that give you not only end-to-end visibility, but also improve your time to value. And with that, I'd like to invite Andi back up on the stage to talk about those partnerships and what we're doing for the next generation of service-defined infrastructure.
Awesome. That's fantastic. Thanks, JC. So, I've talked about already helping you meet this existential challenge of digital transformation. We talked about how Splunk, as a platform for operational intelligence, can help you get there. JC has given us some awesome information about ITSI. I am jazzed by that solution, driving real innovation in that premium solution for IT professionals. But as JC said, there's one more part of this, a massively important part of the transformation you're undergoing, and that's your ecosystem. Now, we've been working with many different vendors and solution providers and partners to drive business, to drive your business. We know that you're working with all sorts of different partners. Your best of breed, large traditional vendors, established providers, startups and emerging players, open source as well. Digital transformation relies on this complex mix. Choosing the best of breed, the best solution to get the job done. Internal systems, cloud services, mobile apps, agile approaches. But in this fragmented landscape, it can be really difficult to get that end-to-end visibility, for everyone to be able to see what's going on across all of these teams and activities and services. So we're working closely with partners all over the world on data and product integration, complementary solutions, and connected services. JC mentioned modules. So we're making ITSI more powerful and more valuable with these extensible modules that anyone can build that plug in seamlessly to ITSI and give you functionality and value out of the box. We're working with companies like SyncSort, who are bringing big iron to the problems of big data and bringing mainframe data into Splunk and into ITSI. With the new IronStream module for ITSI, you get visibility into mainframe applications alongside all of your new IT services. So no need to ring fence your mainframe or put it in a back room and resign it to some legacy mode. You can integrate the mainframe with your teams and activities to deliver new IT services. So we're supporting you from mainframe to cloud across the entire organization. And speaking of cloud, we know that you're adopting Amazon Web Services for the economic and business benefits of cloud computing. We are too, which is why we're closely aligned with Amazon Web Services. As you saw yesterday in Doug's keynote, we're building solutions for real-time visibility, for cloud management, cloud infrastructure management, and application management in the cloud. So you can move to the cloud with agility and confidence, just like we have. You know, when we were thinking about how can we communicate the value of this partnership to you, we thought it'd be sort of cool if we took you behind the scenes and showed you how this strategic partnership works at the highest levels of both companies. So we recorded a video with our CEO, Doug Merritt, and the AWS CEO, Andi Jassy, having a chat. So I'll take you behind the scenes of this important strategic relationship and show you that video now.
Hi, I'm Andi Jassy, and I manage AWS, and it is my pleasure to be here with Doug, who's the CEO of Splunk, and Splunk is a very important partner and strategic partner for AWS, and we're excited about what we're doing together. Our partnership with Splunk is incredibly important for our customers, and one of the things I appreciate about Splunk is that they didn't try and defend the old guard model when the cloud was evolving. They saw what their customers wanted, and they moved quickly to adopt the cloud and make that a reality, and their customer obsession is one of the many reasons we really enjoy partnering with them.
Well, thank you, Andy. One of the things that we love about AWS and Amazon is how customer passionate and obsessed you guys are as well.
Yeah, it's really interesting if you look at how enterprises are migrating very large amounts of workloads to AWS. What they really love is they really love having that agility of AWS, but having the end-to-end visibility that Splunk provides them on top of AWS.
Yeah, Splunk and AWS are working closely together in so many different ways, Andy. Our product teams work together on integrations that help customers ensure security and compliance of applications that run on AWS. We help ensure applications uptime and performance on AWS, and we help them manage AWS costs in real time. We do this because you guys provide such great services from AWS, such as CloudTrail, AWS Config, AWS VPC Flow Logs, and AWS Billing. Our go-to-market teams are working together to highlight how joint customers, such as Adobe, Autodesk, and FINRA, gain end-to-end visibility across their entire AWS environment using Splunk.
Well, AWS and Splunk have joint customers all over the world in every imaginable company size and every imaginable vertical business segment. And one of the things I really like that you guys have done, which is different from some of our other partners, is you didn't try and pick one area that we integrated together. You really integrated end-to-end with AWS, so our joint customers have that very powerful end-to-end visibility.
Speaking of AWS, you know, cloud changes how we operate and monitor, but it also changes the development life cycle. You know, the whole cycle of plan, develop, test, and deploy becomes an entirely different beast when you start to talk about the agility and speed of cloud computing. So over the past 12 months, I've personally talked with many of you and many other customers about how you're adopting these new approaches that really do enable digital transformation. Approaches like agile development, continuous integration, continuous delivery, and DevOps. Disrupting that software and service delivery lifecycle with speed and agility so you can drive the rapid innovation that underpins digital transformation. And Splunk is helping, with many of you already using Splunk as that critical feedback loop to drive continuous improvement through your digital services, breaking down silos between development and operations, collaborating, communicating, and integrating between teams, including teams like QA, the project management office, audit, security, and the business. The way that you're getting the best of your teams of teams to work together, using agility with confidence. So we're excited to announce today some new and some re-energized partnerships with some of the very best providers that are at the heart of your DevOps team of teams. Businesses like Ansible, Atlassian, Chef, CloudBees. We heard yesterday about the work we're doing with Docker, with Electric Cloud, PagerDuty, and Puppet. Together, we're creating these out-of-the-box integrations that deliver instant value and help you communicate and collaborate across this diverse, complex ecosystem. Out of the box with correlation, analysis, visualization across your development and delivery toolchain, giving you deep insight into the velocity of your application delivery, the quality of the code you're putting out there, the business impact that these new digital services are having. So together, your teams can make data-driven decisions into your service delivery pipeline. Now, it's not all on you to take these integrations and build for yourself. Splunk is leveraging these integrations and our own platform for operational intelligence that you know and love so well to build innovative new solutions, to connect this loosely coupled tool chain across the whole DevOps ecosystem. You know, you're changing your operating model to accommodate digital transformation. We're adapting to the changes of digital transformation as well, driving innovation, disrupting these old ways, and working with you to evolve and meet these new challenges. So for the first time ever, I think, we're enabling a service view of application delivery. So not just service intelligence for IT ops and operators and sysadmins and site reliability engineers, but also for all the developers, QA teams, and others involved in planning and developing and testing and deploying new software, with a new Splunk ITSI module for continuous delivery. This brings the power of IT service intelligence to agile development and DevOps as the ultimate feedback loop for DevOps teams. Now, I'd like to ask JC to give us a look at this. It's a sneak preview of a work in progress, but I'm pretty excited about it. JC.
Thank you, Andy. All right, everyone, so we're back to ITSI, and I'm back to being the operations director for Buttercup Go, and Andy here has invited me to be part of his beta program, and I agreed to do this, and let me show you what it would look like. Let's go ahead and roll that. So, as the operations director, it's my job to decide, do we ship the ponies today? And here I got a board that tells me my entire software delivery lifecycle, and it's going the wrong direction. The overall health score of our ability to ship this game is declining. I got 160 storyboard points I can see, ready to go. Development did their job, looked like they got everything done. But something's gone wrong with the build system. It just went in the ditch. And so I don't have to call anyone. I got a build launch manager, Dimitri. Dimitri's probably looking at exactly the same thing I am, and it's about ready to drill in and find out what the heck is going on. And looking about, he sees he's got a bunch of builds backing up. They keep backing up. But he also can see right away, doesn't even have to go to the raw logs, that something's missing. Double clicks and looks like there's no module named Pony Helpers. I wonder how that happened. And so we just goes quickly into chat ops. He has a link, can point Julie, who is our build manager, to exactly the problem. She goes, yep, gonna fix it. And off she goes. So now Dimitri and I click back over, and we start to watch. We trust Julie, but we'll verify. And we'll have a little blameless post-mortem about this one. How blameless depends on how many beers we have first. But now all I need to know is, do we have verification ready to go? And are we ready to push? So I go to my service analyzer view. I select those services. Yeah, 90% test coverage. Good enough, I'll take it. Better than most days. So I say, heck, I think it's time to go ahead and ship these ponies. What do you all think? Yeah? Excellent. Well, now I'd like to let Andy back up on the stage after that little sneak hint about what we're going to do next. Andy?
Thanks, JC. So that's the start of some exciting work. I know we've got some more work to do. I can't wait to see what we can do with integrating all of these partners, integrating all your ecosystem into that service view of application delivery with the Splunk ITSI module for continuous delivery, which will be available real soon now. From the Splunk base, you'll be able to just download it. It'll work with Splunk ITSI on Splunk Enterprise and on Splunk Cloud. And one more thing, it's going to be free. So as you can see, at Splunk, we're working with your partners, from mainframe to cloud to DevOps and beyond, to help IT organizations like you around the globe to meet these challenges of digital transformation. You know, whether you're a traditional on-premises shop with mission-critical mainframe services, Or maybe you're diving into the world of new IT with cloud and DevOps, with microservices and containers and more. Or like many of you here, you're probably somewhere in between. You can evolve and take on this existential challenge of digital transformation. You got this. Splunk is here to help you do that too. We're here on your journey with innovative new solutions built for digital. Solutions like ITSI and the extensible modules that we build and you can build to take you from mainframe to cloud to DevOps, to build on that existing platform and all the great capabilities within core Splunk with a platform for operational intelligence that will break down those walls between teams and activities and services. And as IT fragments, we help to engage that ecosystem and recombine and reimagine IT, connecting that team of teams, recombining the DNA of IT, creating this new digital business. Because this is what makes IT a strategic asset to the business. This is how you create value and deliver the new digital business that you need to survive in this modern era. And together, this is how we do the hard work that underpins digital transformation. So if you haven't tried out IT Service Intelligence yet, sign up today for free, a 7-day cloud sandbox with IT Service Intelligence at splunk.com/ITSI. And, of course, go and visit the Splunk labs, the innovation labs. Check out our newest innovations in IT Service Intelligence, including a new service discovery tool, a new metrics experience, the new module for continuous delivery, and a whole bunch more. And please, continue to check out all the great content for IT operations teams and all the great new stuff we're doing for development teams as well. Check out the content, the activities, the sessions, lots of them led by customers just like you, solving problems just like yours. Also with some of our partners and some of our Splunk ninjas who work at Splunk and have the inside track on ITSI, IT troubleshooting, DevOps, and more. And finally, remember that .conf is all about you. It's about your learning, about your networking, about your growth. So if there is anything anyone from Splunk can do to help you get the most out of .conf, do not hesitate to ask any one of us. We're here to help. Thank you, and have a great Conf 2016.